Just who is calling or texting your kids? Parents are increasingly looking for better ways to keep their children safe, and technology is helping them do that. We're joined now from Los Angeles by Bob Lotter, CEO of eAgency, the creator of a new technology called Radar. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you for having me, Elizabeth.
So tell us what Radar is and how it can help parents track their kids.
Well, Radar is essentially a child safety product. And as we all know, there's about 35 million children between the ages of kindergarten and 12th grade that have access to the internet today. And we're very much aware of all these problems they're having. And those problems, unfortunately, are now migrating to the cell phone. And so strangers who have the advantage of anonymity have the ability to reach out to our children via chat boards and message boards and instant messaging, address books and so forth, and eventually they end up text messaging your children on their cell phone, and parents are becoming increasingly concerned about how to monitor and protect their children. And so that's what Radar is essentially all about.
So in other words, the old advice about keeping your home PC in the kitchen or family room where you can see what your child is doing, all that's changing because some of this is on the phone now. I have one of your phones here. It looks to me like a regular cell phone. Is that right?
Absolutely. And we do a lot of work with various phone manufacturers. I think what you're holding there is a Motorola Razr.
Yep.
And a lot of these companies are getting very serious about giving parents the tools, to help protect their children.
All right, now, of course, in real life, this phone would have to be pink or have rhinestones on it or something like that, right?
Exactly.
But I want to also ask you, how do parents then get notified of these incoming calls and text messages and outgoing ones as well?
Well, essentially, the parent signs up for Radar, mymobilewatchdog.com, on the website, and they simply go in and they sit down with their child and go, let's make a list of all your friends, and let's put grandma and grandpa and coach and teacher and people that we feel are on our safe list, and we'll put that in the phone book online. And then our technology transfers that information over the air wirelessly to the child's phone. Now, if the child sends or receives from their phone an email, a text message, a phone call, or even a picture from camera to camera, and that communication goes to someone or is received by someone not on that list, mom receives a real-time alert to her cell phone, virtually within seconds, and she can read the text message or even see the picture that was sent to her child's phone in real time.
And what about phone conversations? Is there a record of those as well?
Well, phone conversations, what Radar does is capture the phone number and the length and time of the call. It doesn't actually record. That comes under some different rules and regulations than text messaging and emails. But also, the parent can go to the website and can see at any time a virtual record of every phone call, every email, every text message, and every picture, not just the ones they're alerted on. And another component that's important about this, in the event, let's say, of cyberbullying situation or maybe even a more serious threat, the parents have access to these records, and they're kept as a forensic trail of evidence. They're admissible in a court of law, and they can turn that information directly over to the principal of a school or law enforcement so they can take immediate action to protect the child.
Gosh, all right. Now, I'm wondering, I imagine that this is most useful for teenagers, but even if I had a copy of a teenager's text message, there's so much text speak that I'm not familiar with that I might not even know what they're talking about. Do you have a solution for that as well?
Well, we do keep on the website a place for the parents to cut and paste any text message that they don't understand, and it literally translates it for them. This is important because this language is constantly changing, and this is another reason why it's important for the parent to actually get a copy of the text so that they can get it interpreted.
All right, so sort of a teen speak dictionary, it sounds like.
Exactly.
All right, so I want to play devil's advocate for a second. Okay. Is your system kind of making it so that children, teenagers can't make mistakes? Parents are looking over them at all times and on it so much that the kids lose some freedom, including the freedom to blow it occasionally.
Unfortunately, there has to be a balance between the dangers that technology is bringing to our children and the actions that parents take. And you have to think of radar as a tool. How the parent uses that tool is very important. If I may give an example, we had one parent whose 14-year-old daughter was receiving a text message from her new boyfriend who was going to take her on a date. And there was a discussion back and forth about making out, and the young daughter was telling the boy, bring it. So the mother had a decision. She could bust into her child's room, take the phone from her hands, ban her from texting her boyfriend, or she could take another approach. What she did was to start spending more time with their daughter and start paying more attention to explaining to her, the intricacies of relationships and why it might be important to be careful about certain types of activities at her age. And so I think that you have to look at it as a tool, and the parent is the regulator. And it's just unfortunate, but if we're going to protect our children today, parents just have to be more aware and more cognizant of those communications.
All right, well, it's an interesting option, Bob, and $10 to $15 a month, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's $9.95 a month, and I do believe that price is going to be going down soon with the adoption we have, and it's very easy to use. And I just want to point out one other thing. The telephone companies aren't able to keep these records for usually much longer than a couple of weeks. So it's very important and beneficial to the parents that they do have records in the event that they need them.
All right, well, Bob Lauder of eAgency, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And coming up, who's tracking your online habits and where does all that information go?